have another spooky story for you guys. I'm super excited about this one because the person who submitted it to me, she does want to stay anonymous, so I won't tag her, but she did let me know that she is a medium. And this story that she's sharing with us is the scariest thing that has ever happened to her. So let's get started. I'm going to read to you her story. I come from a long line of mediums. My great-grandmother was the person people would call to help their loved ones transition while they were passing away. My grandmother was a psychic medium who could read tea leaves. My mother spoke to spirits in her dreams, and I've been able to sense energies as long as I can remember. My grandmother always said I was the most sensitive and powerful medium in our family and encouraged me to use my gifts to help people. So when I'm not working my 9 to 5 and taking care of my family, that's what I do. Most of the time, what I see and feel is gentle. I've communicated with lost souls, confused spirits, and even passed messages from loved ones to their living relatives. But this story, this is the one that keeps me up at night. The only time I've ever truly feared for my soul and the soul of the people I was trying to help. It all started with a phone call from a woman who I'll call Rachel. She called me asking for help because she was convinced that her house was haunted. She and her husband Tom moved into the house with their 8-year-old daughter Lily just a few months before. Since then, they've been plagued with sleepless nights, cold spots, and a general feeling of being watched. I hear this kind of thing often, but there was something different in her voice. She sounded scared and desperate. I couldn't imagine leaving a nice family like this in distress, so I agreed to meet them at the house to see if I could help. From the outside, the house seemed pretty normal. It was a lovely 3-bedroom colonial on a quiet suburban street. It didn't scream haunted, but the moment I stepped inside, I felt it. There was a weight in the air that felt like walking underwater. When Rachel greeted me at the door, I immediately noticed how tired she looked. Her energy felt heavy, like that of someone who is carrying a high emotional burden. Her husband Tom hovered behind her, but seemed to be avoiding eye contact with me. Their daughter, who I'll call Lily, peeked out from behind the staircase, but kept her distance. I introduced myself and asked Rachel and Tom to explain what they had been experiencing. Tom didn't speak much, but Rachel explained that it all started with Lily saying that she heard knocking sounds coming from below her bedroom floor at night. Rachel and Tom dismissed the noises as just being part of the house, but Lily kept insisting that something was trying to get her. A little while after Lily first mentioned the knocking, she started drawing pictures that concerned her parents. When Rachel brought the drawings to me, I immediately felt a deep sense of dread. All of the drawings were of people without eyes, and some had mouths that were stitched shut. As soon as I touched one of the images to get a better sense of what was behind them, I became nauseous and had to run to the bathroom to avoid getting sick all over the images. I wanted to run out of the house so bad, but I just couldn't leave these people to deal with whatever this was alone. When I returned, Rachel continued describing more experiences. She had seen toys moving in Lily's room and had recently started hearing voices. Lily's behavior was also getting worse. She used to be a sweet, outgoing girl, but now she was having angry outbursts and only wanted to talk to herself in her room while drawing. To get a better sense of what I was dealing with, I told the family that I would walk around the house alone. As soon as I got to Lily's room, I knew I had found the source of the negative energy. That feeling of dread from touching Lily's drawings came rushing through me. I started feeling short of breath and became lightheaded. I had never been so overwhelmed by an entity in my entire life. As soon as I stepped out of the room, I saw Lily standing directly in front of me with a blank stare. I said hi to her and asked where her parents were. She ignored my question. Instead, she said, quote, "He talks to me when mommy and daddy are asleep. He says this is his house. He wants me to stay forever." I asked who he was, but she just started crying and ran off. At this point, I was sure there was a malevolent being in the home, but I would need to do a reading to be sure. I got Rachel and Tom's consent to perform the reading and began the process. As soon as I started saging the home, the banging sound Rachel told me about started. It followed me throughout the house, so I knew it wasn't a coincidence. When I was done, Rachel and Tom joined me at the kitchen table. I poured a ring of salt around us, and we held hands as I opened the door in my mind that separates the physical world from the spiritual. Immediately, I felt it. This was not just a spirit, it was a presence, an angry presence. I saw flashes of a man pacing throughout the house as a woman screamed. Then there was blood, and finally, complete darkness and a feeling like I was falling. Then something whispered in my ear, "She's mine." I snapped out of it and looked toward the kitchen doorway. Lily, who was supposed to be in her room, was there again. Her expression was cold and blank, and she was just staring directly at me. Tom saw her too and asked what she was doing out of her room. Lily didn't even acknowledge her dad. She continued staring at me and said, quote, "He says you can't help." Again, I asked who he is, but she didn't need an answer. Behind her, a tall shadow manifested out of thin air. Lily started screaming, but it wasn't a child's scream. Rachel and Tom, who couldn't even see the shadow, ran right over to Lily and tried to calm her down. Eventually, she did stop screaming. Lily eventually went to take a nap, and while she was napping, I told Rachel and Tom what I had seen and informed them that this type of presence was evil and was attached to their house. He was not going to leave easily and was actively trying to harm their family, so their options were to either banish the presence from the home, which would be incredibly difficult, or to just move. Well, it seemed they were already ahead of me because Rachel and Tom had made arrangements to live somewhere else while they attempted to sell the home. Long story short, I bought the house. I couldn't let another family go through what Rachel, Tom, and Lily did, so I've kept it empty all these years.